this play ball weekend. Tom Davis together with MASNsports.com School of Rock, Roch Kubatko. Roch, how about Zach Britton? Looks like he's going up the ladder now to catch the all-time save leaders.
I feel like we should have a stack of pizzas here from Papa John, shouldn't we?
Why not?
We should. Yeah, Zach was not available last night if there had been a save situation, which ended up being a six-out save for Brad Brock, because he had pitched back-to-back nights, 3 of the last 4 games. But if there's a situation tonight, or today, he should be the guy going for his 84th career save, which would give him sole possession of 5th place on the all-time list. Some people might say, is that really a big deal? Well, first of all, it seems like only yesterday that Zach was still trying to establish himself in the rotation in the majors. Now he's one of the elite closers in the game. Also, he's tied with Jorge Julio for 5th place with those 83 saves. And I'm kind of shocked that Jorge Julio had 83 saves with the Orioles, because I just seem to remember every blown save at the Trop when I was on a tight deadline. And extra innings when Aubrey Huff would come up. I still have nightmares about that. But I mean, you look at the comparison. Julio, all those saves came within a 3-year span. He was with the organization for 5 years. He was 17 and 34, the 4.43 ERA and a 1.399 WHIP in 281 games. He was 83 for 104. His save opportunities at 79.8%. Zach, 9 and 4, 1.72 ERA, a 0.914 WHIP, and just did 153 relief appearances. And you look at his percentage, 83 of 91, 91.2%. So this guy's just been lights out. So he's going to blow past Jorge Julio. To be fair to Jorge, though, he was 3rd in Rookie of the Year balloting the American League in 2002. So he did get off to a good start. But I asked Zach if he knew anything at all about Jorge, and he's kind of sheepishly said, I don't really know anything. He knows the name because it's been brought up a few times. Jorge Julio's last year was in 2005 with the Orioles. Zach was drafted in 2006, so he didn't have Jorge Julio posters on his bedroom wall. He didn't aspire to be a closer back then, but he was going to pass him. Dick Hall's next, of course, with 100 career saves. He's 4th on the list. Then you've got Tippy with 105, Jim Johnson 122, and of course Greg Olson is 1st, 160, probably best curveball I ever saw before he blew out his arm. But Zach is on the fast track to get that record.
Maybe in 2 years, I would think it went very easily. But how about Jimmy Paredes? Now, decision time coming about Jimmy Paredes, right?
It is. I mean, legally, the Orioles don't have to do anything with him on this rehab assignment until tomorrow. But I think the decision's obviously been made because an industry source tells me that he is already on waivers, and they should find out later this afternoon whether he's been claimed or not. If not, the Orioles can outright him to AAA, but Paredes has the option, because he's already been outrighted once, to decline it and become a free agent. But the Orioles are hoping he would accept it. The money would be pretty good down in Norfolk, so I don't know if you want to walk away from that. There's a chance he could get claimed. I think he's been claimed 3 times already in his career, but so far it hasn't happened. There's just not a spot for him on the Orioles roster. They still like him, but with Pedro Alvarez as a left-handed DH primarily, you've got Yoon-Soo Kim as a left-handed hitting extra outfielder, and Paredes doesn't really have a position. He just doesn't have a place on the roster. He's at Norfolk now, 8 for 24 on his rehab assignment, but it ends today. And I figured, and I wrote this morning, if he ends up going somewhere else, the Orioles can always say, look, we got the best out of him that anybody has. His first half last year when he hit 299 with 10 home runs, like 48 games, he was a big part of whatever success they were having then. He just tailed off after that. So maybe the best we're ever going to see of Jimmy Paredes was that time in Baltimore, especially the first half of last season.
The Orioles had him twice. They could get him back a 3rd time.
Yeah, it's like the boomerang. He keeps coming back.
Let's talk a little bit about the rotation, Roch. Now, obviously an off day on Monday. How does this rotation set up after Monday?
Yeah, it kind of allows Buck to tweak the rotation a little bit. And what I was curious about, he obviously wants to keep Jimenez and Tillman on the regular rest. They're going to go Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively, when the Mariners are here. But Thursday is listed as TBD, to be determined right now, which I think is the same as to be announced. I guess this is an Oriole thing. They go with the D. And that's Mike Wright's term, but he's not listed right now. But he obviously is one of the possibilities. Tyler Wilson is the other. And I was a little curious because Tyler pitched Wednesday in Minnesota. Quality start, 2 runs over 7 innings, but he's not listed right now. And I thought, well, is this going to be like a corresponding move for Paredes? I was speculating this morning. It's not. He's available in the bullpen today. Buck would like to get him an inning, and if not, then Wilson will go ahead and do a side session. But Buck just wants to get him a little bit of work, but he's a little concerned about the bullpen, and he hinted that they thought about maybe a move last night to kind of get a fresh arm there, and that's one of the reasons Tyler's in the bullpen today. Wilson, at some point, we assume will get back in the rotation. It could be Thursday or it could be Mike Wright. They're still determining that.
Detective Roch, always trying to find out the latest on the Orioles. Check him out on MASNsports.com School of Rock.